Welcome back to a new post today. Let's continue from where we stopped with regard to July 26th, the most important topics that you need to remember for your upcoming UPSC preliminary examination, civil services in 2025. So the very first one is about the Kerala's demand to declare a landslide as a national disaster. Let me tell you that we do not have any concept as such in India. As per the Disaster Management Act of 2005, which deals with disasters in India, a disaster is described as a catastrophe or a mishap or a calamity or a grave occurrence in any area arising from natural or man-made causes or by accident and negligence, which results in substantial loss of life, human suffering and damage and destruction to property, and also the damage and destruction to environment as well. Natural disasters include your earthquake, floods, tsunami, urban flood, etc. And the man-made disaster includes nuclear, biological and chemical disasters as well. And there is no provision for a national calamity to be for a natural calamity in India. However, the 10th Finance Commission examined the proposal for that a disaster be termed as a national calamity of rarest of severity if it affects at least 1/3 of the population of the state, and the panel did not define a calamity of rare severity but stated that the calamity of a rare severity would necessarily be the one on a case where we take into consideration the case-by-case basis and the intensity and magnitude of the calamity, the level of assistance needed, the capacity of the state to tackle the problem, alternatives, flexibilities available with the plans to provide succor and relief. The floods in Uttarakhand and the cyclone Hudhud were later classified as calamities of severe nature. When a calamity is declared to be a rare or a severe nature one, the support to the state government is provided by the national level, and the centre considers additional assistance from the National Disaster Response Fund. The Calamity Relief Fund is set up with a corpus of 3:1 ratio between the centre and the state. When the resources in the Calamity Relief Fund are inadequate, assistance is considered from the National Calamity Contingency Fund, funded 100% by the centre. Now, the next most important issue is about national domicile policy in the Assam government. The government of Assam has now decided to bring in a new domicile policy that will allow those who are born in the state to be entitled for government jobs. This was said by the Chief Minister Hemanta Biswa Sarma, and he said the policy would also be drawn up where the approval of the Chief Minister will become mandatory for transfer of land between the Hindus and the Muslims. So what exactly is a domicile certificate? It is nothing but a certificate issued by the state government or the union territory that confirms that the person resides within a certain state or a union territory. Let me tell you that we do not have a domicile policy, but equality of opportunity in terms of public employment under Article 16, Clause 3 provides that nothing shall prevent the Parliament from making a law prescribing in this regard class or classes of employment or appointment to the government of India or under any local or any other authority within the state or union territory any requirement as the residents within that state or union territory to such employment or appointment. And the next one is about the Godavari River Board formed. The interstate river water disputes is dealt in Article 262 of the Constitution, and under this the Parliament may by law provide for adjudication of any dispute or complaint with respect to use, distribution, control of waters of any interstate valley or river valley. The Parliament would also provide neither the Supreme Court nor the High Court to exercise jurisdiction with respect to the dispute or the complaint, and the Parliament has enacted two laws with this regard, that is the Interstate River Water Disputes Act of 1956, the River Boards Act of 1956. The River Boards Act provides for establishment of the river boards by the central government for regulation and development of interstate river waters and river valleys. The river board is established on the request of the state government concerned to advise them. And there is an Interstate River Water Disputes Act which empowers the central government to set up an ad hoc tribunal for adjudication of disputes between two or more states in relation to the waters of the interstate valley or the river valley. And let's look at some of the questions with regard to the Olympics. Now, the Indian who won the first ever medal at the Olympics is Norman Pritchard, and the person who first won the individual medal for India after independence is KD Jadhav. The person who scored a hat-trick for India at the Olympic football is Neville Stephen D'Souza, and his father, the father-son duo, won medals at Olympics in India for the same sport is Dhyan Chand and Ashok Kumar in hockey. The father-son duo who won medals in Olympic Games for India in different sports are Father Wes Pace in hockey and Leander Pace in tennis. And the captain of the team for the last time India won a gold medal in hockey in 1980 in Moscow Games was V. Bhaskaran. And the first Indian woman to win an individual medal at the Olympics is Karnam Malleshwari. The only Indian woman who won multiple medals at Olympic is P.V. Sindhu and Manu Bakar. And the athlete who became the first Indian woman athlete to qualify for the semi-final at the Olympics is Shiny Abraham in 1984 Los Angeles Games. And yeah, this is all for the very first with regard to the duos and also the captain, where India won a gold at the Olympics in Moscow in 1980. So I hope these were really helpful to you all. If you did, please do like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to comment at the end of the video. I shall see you tomorrow with July 27, the most important points that you need to keep track for the civil services examination. Until then, it's very happy learning.